Hi, thank you for joining us. My name is Natalie Marcel, and I have the privilege of being joined by Smita Rajmohan. Smita is Senior Product Counsel at Autodesk, and she's an Executive Committee member of the Privacy Law section. Smita, thank you for joining me today. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So I wanted to find out a little bit more about your background today. How is it that you got into practicing privacy law?
Let's see. So I started as a tech transactions associate at Kirkland and Ellis in San Francisco. And as part of the tech transactions practice, privacy was kind of bread and butter day-to-day work. Back when I started, there weren't separate privacy groups at law firms, not really. Privacy was kind of a rolled in function to a tech team. And so you would just do, draft privacy policies and advise on privacy facing terms in an M&A deal. And so that was kind of my initial foray into privacy. I also took privacy courses at Berkeley Law, which really sort of piqued my interest. And then I sort of started down the tech path. And it's really hard to avoid privacy if you want to do anything in tech. So yeah, I would say that was kind of my start.
Okay, so it's always been sort of kind of in a part of your career as your practice develops. It sounds like you specialize in other areas as well, aside from privacy.
Yeah, in one way, I would say I'm a generalist in my current role because I'm sort of like a legal business partner as a product counsel. And so right now I deal with everything from IP issues to privacy to data ethics to really anything else like commercial transactions and to just sort of advising the business on day-to-day legal issues as they arise.
So tell me, what's some of the privacy law issues that are important to you right now?
Well, I mean, I think some of the privacy issues that are really, really interesting actually come from the AI ML space. It's an interesting dichotomy of where, in order to make a good AI algorithm, you need to feed it data. And so the questions come between like how, where do you find the data? And, a lot of interesting privacy issues around data collection, a lot of ethics questions around data use. So I think and then of course, once you have an AI built out, like how do you go about distributing it? What is the use case for the AI? And would that then implicate any sort of privacy issues there? So there are lots of really interesting questions in privacy around that new space.
So with your background being in privacy, it sort of makes sense that that's what brought you to the privacy law section. Can you tell us a little bit about your role on the committee?
Sure. I'm a partnerships chair, so I will try and find other sort of organizations to collaborate with on privacy programming, on privacy events, on privacy networking events. And also, I am very passionate about diversity and inclusion, so I'll try and collaborate with other organizations or individuals that would encourage and amplify diverse voices in the privacy space.
Very awesome. It is a new section. Can you just share with us some of the experiences that you've had with this section so far?
Well, I've had some really great successes at the CLA privacy section in just collaborating with everybody on events, especially collaborating with organizations such as the IAPP and Women in Security and Privacy. We do a lot of collaborations with several other organizations as well. And so to me, it has been really interesting to see those events, to see that kind of programming, to see the kind of outreach we're able to do so early in our formation. So all of that's been very exciting.
I see. So what are some of the plans coming up ahead for this section?
Well, I think we want to do more programming. We want to get more people involved. We want to get more people involved with XCOM, the board, and I would love to see more people that come from underrepresented minorities, backgrounds, diverse perspectives, and yes, basically, I think CLA privacy is a great platform to help people that want to get into privacy or that want to take their privacy profession to the next level. So it's just a group of like-minded folks that are excited and passionate about privacy and want to help.
Okay, so following on that, how would one go about getting involved on the XCOM?
Well, there's an application form that you can fill out that's available on our website. So you can do that. You could definitely ping someone on LinkedIn that you find is on the XCOM. That's a great way of learning more about what we do. And yeah, certainly you could also just shoot an email that's available on the website, and that will, get to us. And we're happy to set up a one-on-one and chat with anyone who's interested.
On advice. So you did touch on how privacy law is kind of growing. It's a great way for someone to get involved in that space. It's kind of a hot area to get into right now. I hear a lot of attorneys talking about new attorneys trying to get into that practice area or attorneys pivoting into that practice area. What advice would you give to them?
I would say good call. Do pivot. I think it's going to be a fascinating and burgeoning field. So my advice would be to get involved in things like the publications committee that I know you're part of, and start to write articles about privacy, start to self-educate about privacy if you can. There are lots of resources available. And yeah, I think, it's definitely start talking to people. I think this is where networking events come into play. It's you're never going to really get that kind of insight from reading an article about what a privacy lawyer does than when you just speak to a privacy lawyer. So I would say that's sort of what you should be doing if you want to pivot into privacy, is try and talk to as many people in the field as you can. And they'll help guide you. Hopefully you will find a mentor or someone who can guide you into what to expect and how to navigate your career.
So an advice, I want to say the section is actually putting together a mentorship program, isn't it?
It is. That's correct. I think we've started it out with Santa Clara right now, where we're trying to find mentors for student mentees, but we are going to roll it out more broadly. I would love to see it grow to also be mentoring young professionals. And yes, if you would like to come join the CLA and help us out with that, please do. The more the merrier, and we could really use engagement and help on that front.
And just to kind of close out on your interview today, aside from sounds like an amazing privacy law lawyer that you are, the rockstar lawyer that you are, what do you do for fun to avoid burnout?
That's a great question. What do I do? Let's see. Well, I really enjoy walking my dog and playing with my dog. He's a pandemic puppy. And so we really survived the pandemic because of our little dog. So I really enjoyed that. I enjoy hikes. I like getting outdoors. I like, exploring all the treasures that the Bay Area has to offer.
Thank you so much for your time today, Smita. I had so much fun chatting with you today, and thank you for so much useful information and advice that you shared with us.
Oh, no, thank you. I enjoyed it very much. Thanks for doing this.